iTech Minerals, a company owning both a massive graphite project as well as an enormous rare earths project, both located in Australia. Moreover, that graphite resource already has a filed graphite resource report of 8.55 million tons of graphite found at a 9% purity. But the company is as we speak drilling a potential resource of 160 to 264 million tons of graphite found at a 7 to 12% purity. That would be a 40x in graphite resource, so a massive catalyst. But when do we expect those drilling results, and does this catalyst make iTech Minerals a good investment today? Well, let's find out together. But before that, real quickly, welcome to another episode in my series Graphite Stocks, where I hope to one day have analyzed every single graphite stock on the stock market. That is of course because I am long-term bullish on electric vehicles. Every single EV uses a battery, moreover all the batteries we know of today use graphite. Hence why we're looking at graphite stocks to try to determine which are best for a long-term investment. Today is the 12th episode of this series, and today we're looking at iTech Minerals, or these ticker symbols. Now let's quickly get into it with first a company overview. So, like we saw during the intro, two sides of the business, on the one side graphite and on the other side rare earths materials. In this video we'll not be focusing on the rare earths materials project, we'll only be focusing on graphite. So graphite wise, we are talking about the Campuna graphite project, and the drilling targets are massive. At Sugarloaf, the company is finding graphite between 7% and 30% purity, which for a flake graphite deposit is nothing to sneeze at. Again, we're talking about drilling targets found between 160 and 360 million tons of graphite found at 7 to 12% total graphite content. That is mind-boggling large. And Sugarloaf isn't even the only drilling target the company has found. It also has the 6 by 3 kilometer drilling target found at La Croma, also in Australia. Drilling wise, the company seems to now be done at Sugarloaf. I quote, iTech has now completed its objective of obtaining sufficient samples over the full extent of Sugarloaf mineralization and will commence metallurgical test work on producing a concentrate precursor to battery anode material. So basically the company has now completed its drilling work at Sugarloaf, which was an enormous graphite project. Now we are awaiting metallurgical test work, which will tell us how easy or how complex it is to turn this graphite into battery anode material, the stuff that goes into batteries. The company hopes to release its resource calculation during the first half of 2023, which would be really soon. But this presentation was made in November 2022, so I'm not entirely certain how likely this scenario is. Anyways, I believe that updated graphite resource will be a massive catalyst for the iTech Minerals stock, and that catalyst is basically imminent. So it's certainly an exciting time to be an iTech Minerals investor. But catalysts are only as good or as bad as the company itself. So is iTech Minerals a good investment in and of itself? Well, let's talk about my opinions. To compare how good or how bad an investment is, normally I mentally balance the risk versus the reward. The large risk surrounding iTech Minerals I believe to be threefold. Number one, capitalization. See, on the 31st of March 2023, the company had 8 million Australian dollars in cash. I believe that is never going to be enough to get a graphite mine into production. So most likely the company will need more cash, and that is a risk. 2, drilling results might disappoint. Even though the drilling results the company put out recently looked really good, they were also the best results they found. So we still don't know how large this graphite resource will actually become. And keep in mind that resource estimation is one of the only large positive catalysts on the short-term horizon. So if that graphite resource disappoints, that would suck. And the last big risk, negative catalysts occurring in the rare earths metals project could negatively impact the stock price, even if the graphite side is going brrr. Aside from that, they of course carry the risk of any other graphite mining company. Graphite could lose all demand because new technologies are dominating the battery space, an asteroid could hit the mine, and the world could flip 180 degrees. after which toilet flush the opposite way in Australia, but I digress. So how does that stack up against the benefits? Well, those are 1. A diversified exploration company with properties across 2 different highly sought after technology metals. 2. A management team which actually delivers and is on point with their timeframes, which is extremely rare in the mining space. 3. The potential for an enormous graphite mine. This resource could literally make iTech Minerals one of the biggest players in the world. 4. The company is really cheap, at only 32 million Australian dollars on the stock market right now. Lastly, there are significant catalysts on the short-term horizon, which is also a rarity in the mining space. So how do those rewards stack up against the risks? Well, that is for you to decide. Personally, I haven't made up my mind just yet. I am really tempted to open up a small position in my generate long-term gamble account, mainly to play around with that short-term drilling catalyst on the horizon. But thus far, I haven't opened up any position in this stock at this moment in time. And now it's time for a classic YouTuber disclaimer. While I am a registered financial advisor in the Netherlands, I do not have the legal capacity yet to give anyone investment advice. Therefore, this video and any other video on this YouTube channel can never be taken as financial advice. I cannot be held liable for the losses you make while trading according to my opinions. Please do your own due diligence. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Peace.